Right now, you're in that limbo between Christmas and New Year's where we're all just relaxing off our routine. So I thought this would be the perfect time for us to do a little catch up. Reflect on the last year, give you guys a few tips leading into 2026. Don't worry, I've got my big January videos that I come out every year, like my year-long challenges, all that coming your way. But right now, we're just going to have a little catch up. I asked you guys some Q&As about where I'm at right now, the last year, and just some tips for you guys. So let's just dive into it. Balancing many sports with working full time. Oh, I need to put myself back in the framework. For me, the biggest thing was putting everything in the calendar. So I didn't have to rely on my brain and remembering everything. So just having some kind of system that you actually use, but making sure to schedule in breaks and recovery moments and sleeping and account for that, because I think I diddy-dallied a lot with doing all that. Like, you had limited time, but still, like, you're so burnt out that you find yourself like procrastinating doing things because you're just craving time off. So I think put everything in the schedule, see the gaps you can fit in things, and account for everything, the drive to and from places, and put in things that like allow you to recharge, because you need those recharge moments. Otherwise, you actually end up doing less, ironically, I find. That would be my tip. Love your videos. Can you share how you organize your projects? What tools/systems? I wish this was sponsored by Notion, because I use Notion. I love it. Specifically, I like it because it's super customizable. In the past, I've used like project management systems like Asana, ClickUp, and all that, but I found them super restrictive as someone with a creative brain. Like, there was just stuff I needed in a specific way to remember. That's why pen and paper is so great, but pen and paper isn't as easy and always transportable. So I have Notion, and I have it scheduled out. Like, I have all my year-long videos and little sections of them, and I'm just constantly building scripts for it. So things are scheduled way in advance, and then I'm a daily to-do list in Notion. So pretty much like I write out all these scripts, write everything I have to remember, write out the plan, and then I break it down into my daily things, and that's how I remember. And sometimes the daily things are funny. It will be like day 27 of blank challenge, film day number 18 of blank challenge, film day 3, and that's how I do it. But personally, I love Notion, and I've tried a bunch, but I think that's the biggest thing. Try them, and if it's frustrating, don't do it, because I used Asana for the longest time, and I just wasted so much of my day fixing the Asana, versus your productivity thing should allow you to be productive. How to run in the dark. First thing would just make sure to have reflective details, so for cars and safety. Second, a headlamp is super efficient, and that way you can see where you're going. And try and map out lit areas. So for me, sometimes my run paths in the winter are really funny, and they're not fun and glamorous, but I will just like run really slowly and notice where all the lights on my street are, and then I just run along those street lights. So it's weird figure eights, and sometimes I just run in a circle. I won't lie, I know running 3 blocks around my house is a mile. And so sometimes I just do it repetitively. And it's boring, but it's temporary, and it's better than nothing. When to listen to your body and when to push, how to know. This is something like I'm forever trying to figure out. And that's one thing activity trackers can be a great thing for, but even those aren't going to work as well as like perceived effort. But like, there's a weird thing, like sometimes when you're on the couch and you're tired, it's because you haven't moved. And sometimes you're on the couch and tired because you've moved too much. And I think it's just being realistic. Like, sometimes just write down exactly what you've done for the week and really be honest with yourself. And then sometimes I just say like I have to do something for 10 minutes, and then I go from there. So like if I'm like, oh, am I blah, or do I need a rest day? Like, I'll go for a run. And after 10 minutes or so, if I'm still just cannot get through it and there's no sign of a runner's high, I will bail. So sometimes just start and then feel it out, because you don't know. Because how many times do you feel like crap and you start working out and you feel amazing? How was the recovery from the marathon? No one talks about the afters, like blisters, pain. I'm going to be honest, my recovery was pretty good. I did definitely lose 2 toenails, so my feet are horrendous. I was definitely sore after, like going upstairs. I was like, oh, so it was kind of funny. Like, I'd be sitting at dinner and get up and would be like, oh, and then 2 days after, pretty sore. But honestly, I'm going to be honest, that was it. After about 3 days, I was pretty recovered. I took a couple weeks to get back into training and running. Yeah, I think it just came down to like I really strength trained, and I didn't kill myself in the marathon. I really went into my first marathon to enjoy it. Like, I wanted to accomplish it and feel good. And I could have definitely probably scrapped 10 to 20 minutes off my time and kill myself. But for it, I still gave a lot of effort. I didn't necessarily go slow, but I didn't give to the point of puking. And I feel for a first marathon, that was really nice, because it left me wanting to do another marathon and enjoy it. So yeah, definitely the ugly things are the feet. And my hair was really knotted after. But aside from that, like it wasn't that bad. And I think it just comes to preparation. Tips to balancing running and weightlifting with keeping healthy hormones. I struggle. This is really hard, and I'm going to talk it from Dr. Stacey Sims because I'm not a doctor and I cannot talk about your specific hormones or anything. But Dr. Stacey Sims always repeats, there's no such thing as overtraining, only under recovering. And so I just think that has to be the biggest thing specifically for women is we have to eat enough and we have to sleep enough. And if you're not able to do those things, you have to lower your output. And that's what I kind of always tell myself is to keep my hormones and body healthy. There's certain periods in my life where I can sleep 8 hours every day, get in a bunch of whole foods, have great meals like 3 times a day and have my pre-workout snack and my post-workout. But then there's sometimes when life gets busy and I can't eat that consistently because there's other priorities. And so I just get what I can. And then I'm not sleeping as much, or I don't have as many hours in a day to sleep. And those times I don't work out as much or as intensely. I still do things like weight training and all that, but that's not the time I train for a marathon. And I think it's just being, once again, honest with ourselves that do you have the ability to fully recover? And there's times in your life you don't. And that's the unfortunate thing of life. We all have so many hours in a day. And when those times in your life, you're single in your 30s without kids and disposable income, that's a great time to train for a marathon. When you're a new mom with 4 kids and a new demanding job, your ability to recover isn't going to be as great. And so you can do it, but you risk hormonal health. And that's my tip. How to sleep better when you're stressed as FUCK. My biggest thing is like having something to like purge your brain before you go to bed because racing thoughts. So for me, I love to say like future Keltie will deal with it because I'm guilty of racing thoughts as well. And I'm always like trying to hold on to ideas, but I just try and make myself really tired at night, really bored. So no lights, low music, chill, mindless movies, allow yourself something to unwind before you get into bed so you're tired. And then I'll do like a brain dump. I always set alarms for myself to remind myself of things in the morning. So say I had this idea for a video and instead of like sitting there holding on to it before I go to bed, or if I have to remember my accountant or something, I'll just set an alarm or put in Notion the next day, be like, remember to do this. And something about just being like, oh, it is remembered, it will be dealt with, just takes the pressure off. So have a notebook beside your bed, use a software, or just literally set an Apple alarm and just be like 7 a.m. Remember to take out the trash. Can we talk about resilience and taking care of yourself when life throws curveballs at you? Well, that was this year. This year was the wildest year of my life. It started off with I got really sick just randomly. I got like an eye infection. Dad died. Then I got engaged, and then I became an auntie, and then I moved, and then I went through a crazy medical procedure, and then a marathon. It was a lot. It was a lot, especially when like sudden dead parents. Well, you don't see that one coming. And I don't have an exact answer still. The year's not done. I haven't been a year away from it. But I think it's just reminding yourself you'll get back. And I think that's a big thing for me. Like all of us right now, you guys watching, are in fitness, productivity, YouTube. We know what to do. And I think we always have this fear, at least I do, of like, I've forgotten. This is the beginning to the end. So when you fall off and you're like, oh, how do I get back? You think like, oh, because I'm not 100% on my routine and doing everything, like this is the beginning to the end. I'm never going to work out again. And you just kind of remind yourself, like, do the best you can. And eventually over time, you'll be over this. So when I'm like living in the chaos of my new place, doesn't mean I'm going to be in chaos forever. And I think just reminding myself and like every day chip a little bit away of it. And then schedule in things to take care of yourself, like put up boundaries. And they can be simple little things, but just have those things in the middle of the day. For me, it's on weekends, Purdy's chocolate. I'm going to be honest, I love a Purdy's chocolate. It's a Canadian chocolate company. It's like my favorite. And so every Saturday and Sunday, I always get a couple. They're expensive, but that's my little treat myself to look forward to at the weekend. And so, give yourself those little moments, book a massage, do whatever it is. But I think little moments of joy and reminding yourself this isn't beginning to end, you will get back. How to balance drinking and fitness. I think it's just a sacrifice. You realize that, the most optimal thing for your health and wellness isn't going out and having 5 beers and a couple margaritas. But at the same time, like, I really enjoy it. And so I try and do everything around it for the week when I drink. Whether it be, I just really make sure to be on my sleep the week of. I always have electrolytes before bed because I find that reduces the hangover. I'll have some in the morning. And not planning anything health and wellness the next day. Like, I'm not going to force myself to have a workout the next day. Like, I'm going to plan it that tomorrow's a rest day. And just, you understand that it's a sacrifice to your fitness, but at the same time, I'm not training for Olympics. And I also don't drink every weekend. I think it's like I choose, and that comes with time. It comes with time of like knowing when is it going to be worth it to have some drink with friends and when is it kind of useless and you end up regretting it. And that's a personal thing. And I won't lie, I don't really get hangovers as someone in their 30s, which is crazy, but I do think it is. I drink a ton of water and I have an Element every night before bed after a night of drinking. And luckily, Element is the sponsor of today's video because of its science-based ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I love it because it tastes delicious. Electrolytes are so beneficial if you're living in a hot climate, working out over an hour a day, marathon training. You're a college student drinking a little bit, so you're going to be a little depleted and dehydrated, and it tastes delicious. It's trusted by NFL, NBA, NHL players. We use it in our family. I love the hot cocoa flavor come wintertime, but I also love citrus and the grapefruit are my favorite flavors. And it's just great. It's the easiest healthy habit. I have them in all my purses. And when my friends are out drinking and we're going out, I hand them out like they're party favors. And they're always so thankful because that is one thing that really has a hangover, is just being dehydrated. And electrolytes help that. And of course, I'm not going to do this and not give you guys a code. If you go to drinkelementea.com/Keltie, you'll get one of their bestseller sample packs with your purchase. It's a great way to try their most popular flavors like raspberry and citrus with your purchase or share with a salty friend. Once again, that's drinkelementea.com/Keltie. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video. What shoes do you recommend for someone just starting out running, road/trails? I've said this so many times, I'm sorry. You go get assessed at a running room store from a professional. It's free. It's so hard to buy a pair of running shoes online. You don't know the feel. You don't know the cushion. It's really personal. Just realize there's so many different things that affect your running shoe, whether you're a foot striker, heel striker, the tempo you're running at, if you're pronated. It will save you so much time and money to just go get assessed. And then there's different price range. Some great brands, though, I will recommend, like Asics, New Balance, Hoka, Nike. They all have $150, $200 like average price points Canadian that are great quality, but just find the one that suits you. But I won't lie, I'm a pro Asics. If you just want to be like Keltie, I'm like, honestly, all Asics, they're so good. But things like Brooks and New Balance are also amazing. How do you structure your weightlifting workouts? Any plans you follow? I'm pretty lucky that I've worked with a ton of professionals. My mom was a personal trainer, so like I do program them on my own, but then depending on my workouts, like I will just use some trusted apps sometimes, like the Center app I'm using right now. I've used Runna a lot in the past, which is my favorite running app, and they have weight training, so I use that all the time. But I also get assessed every couple of years by a physiotherapist or a personal trainer to see any imbalances I specifically have, and just so I just know a few things that I need. So it really comes down to getting a plan for yourself, and there's many different ways to do that. But if I had to say like one app right now, it is Runna. Runna is my favorite. And then if you have the resources, like even one time getting assessed by a physio / a personal trainer and just getting a couple foundational exercises that are customized towards you is great. And then it really just depends on my goals, which isn't sexy, but it's usually 2 to 4 times a week, a push-pull. My workouts, 4 sets, and I like to do opposite movements. So if I do one thing, this is kind of avant-garde, but if I do like a compound push movement, I do an accessory pull movement. So I'm kind of like always balanced. So for example, I would do squat, which is a push, and then I would superset it with some kind of accessory pull, like a resistance band bird dog. Advice for getting into the New York Marathon. I'll let you know if I figure it out because I haven't. Hopefully become a big enough running influencer that I get in or donate a lot of money. So yeah, I'll let you know if I get in. I haven't figured it out yet. Do you still DJ or make mixes? I love the vibe you started with that and would love to see it again. I do want to get back to it. I won't lie. When my dad passed, I went into like survival mode, and it was kind of like all I could do creatively was YouTube, and that's one of my biggest passions, but so is music. And it's really made me reassess of like, I know I love music so much, and I love the power music has with workouts, and now I do know how to DJ, and I knew music production, and I love scoring my own videos, and that's something I'm really passionate about, like scoring movies and videography. And then I don't really know what that looks like for you guys in that sense of like music. Also, I had to bring it back to like it really personal, like as just a hobby, not for content. And so I think like sometimes I felt like all music had to be like I had to be producing music, and I was like I just need to be like an enjoyer of music for myself right now and not producing for others. And so I do apologize, I fell off. I think it was just music is a big hobby and passion of mine, and I needed it for me during those moments. So I would love to get back to mixing, and I would also like to know like what would be most beneficial for you guys, me getting you guys music for your workouts and what that looks like. Whether it be playlists, live streams, I don't know, but I do think there's such a power in music and working out, and it's one of my biggest passions. So I'd love to hear from you guys what you'd want. But yeah, getting back on DJ sets, I think would be real good. I'm in a good place now, and I want to vibe it out. But for right now, I do have my running Spotify playlist if you want something right now. Why did you decide to move? Are you moving to Sweden or are you moving to Canada? So I moved out of my apartment, which I loved, but it was time. My brother had a baby, wanted to be closer to family. Also downtown Vancouver, I would never be able to afford real estate in, and it was just definitely a time. So yeah, move closer to family. We will be splitting our time between Canada and Sweden for at least the rest of my fiance's career. He's a hockey player, and then we'll assess. But I think the goal is we'd rather have like 2 small homes than 1 big home, so we could spend certain times with family, depending. And that's like a goal we're really working towards. And yeah, but don't worry if you love my downtown Vancouver content. I will be in downtown Vancouver running around a lot, but it is cheaper for me to have a place outside of downtown Vancouver and then just Airbnb when I need to be downtown Vancouver, which is crazy because if you didn't know, Vancouver is like top 5 most expensive real estate in the world. Like it's like in New York, LA. It's crazy. So yeah, I save in a lot of money and closer to family. But it won't really change for you guys, except you might see some new stuff. And actually, it allows me saved up a ton of money in my monthly expense. So I'm really excited to put that towards my channel, actually. And like, I do really have big visions with like where I want this channel to go. So it's freed up a bit of that as well. Really, it's just affordability, because we're all in that crisis, and downtown Vancouver is quite the opposite. And so now here's to bigger things with family, friends, and YouTube for you guys. So I'm excited. I'm in the thick of it, so it's chaos, but excited. Oh my God, girl, update us on life. I think I did. It's been wild. Like everything jammed into a year. It started as the worst year of my life, ended up being the best, like I said. Just enjoyed being engaged, moving into a new place, moving into an office. Also did that, as you'll notice. If you didn't know, I shared an office with some other YouTubers in downtown Vancouver. JJ, Michael, Derek. I love them all. We were so sad to leave. It was just we're all in different chapters in life. Derek is moving. Mike moved. I moved. JJ. So it was kind of like, it was just saying bye to your high school friends. It was like, oh, we all have to move. Don't want to, but forever wishing them the best. Yeah, and everything else. Favorite snacks? Purdy's chocolates, cinnamon buns, if those count. I guess those would be treats, not snacks. I'm thinking regular snack. I'm just going to say I can't think of anything exciting. Let's just go with that. How did you get into influencing, and what's your favorite part about it? Love your videos so much. You're the only honest wellness girly. Oh, thank you. I guess it was just, I just started YouTube 9 years ago just because I saw other YouTubers I was super inspired by. I always wanted to get into videography, and I was inspired by like Nike commercials and documentaries like Icarus and Super Size Me, actually. And like, I knew I just wanted to do that. I didn't know what that looked like. I also love music videos. And so when I saw YouTube and I saw Casey Neistat make his own Nike commercial on YouTube, I was like, I can just make my own. And this is before like the term influencing even started. So I just really wanted to get into YouTube. And Instagram, I guess I was kind of always doing. I think I just at the time like didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do stuff in there. So I just like posted on social media. Yeah. And then I got into YouTube and then was able to, without giving my whole life story, long story, I decided to really go for it after several years of doing it with full-time jobs. And I just over time grew my YouTube channel. And then I guess with that, I also post a little on Instagram and TikTok. So I would love to hear you guys. You see a difference between influencer versus YouTuber or influencer versus content creator? Because I do feel like influencer versus YouTuber is slightly different, but then you end up kind of being the same. Yeah, just interested to hear from you guys. But I guess that's how I did it. I was just really passionate about it and just went for it and just worked and worked and worked. And eventually it happened. What races are you planning to join in 2026? Greetings from Switzerland. Greetings from Canada. For sure doing BMO in Vancouver marathon. And then I might be doing a half marathon in Austin. And then I'll sporadically do some 10 kilometers throughout. But for sure, BMO, Vancouver. Signed, sealed, delivered. We'll be running that marathon in May. And then I just want to be in a good running position that I can do any other runs that come my way, depending where I'm at. You've made several videos where you try something or use a product for a year. How do you plan to stay disciplined enough to stick with multiple year-long projects? First, no, a lot fall off. I have so much footage of like videos that like didn't happen and that maybe will, and I have the footage, but it comes back to that notion. It's like planning it ahead of time and then just constantly scheduling it in the calendar. And it is a lot of work, and a lot of my YouTube is planning and scripting and researching and setting out. And like I storyboard all my videos and in my B-roll. And like, I really try and treat my YouTube channel like a movie producer or director would treat it. And I really try and, plan out all my B-roll, plan out videos way in advance, and then just be on top of it. And when I moved, I wrote on into the box we kept in. I was like, most prized possession. Everything else can burn but these, and it's my hard drives, and just being really organized. And it took time. Like, I used to just kind of save it, but like, I have all my videos categorized in order of them coming out with files labeled on countless hard drives. So yeah, it's just spending the time to do that. And sometimes I feel guilty. I'm like, I could be filming or editing or doing something like that right now, and I'm just organizing, but it pays off. It's the expression, measure twice, cut once. That. Unusual tips on how to stay consistent with exercise. I scheduled in my calendar like you would any other part of your day. So it's planned. And then whenever I'm not in the mood to do it, I just say I have to go through the motions and lift like 5 pounds. And then once I get there, I lift heavier. But I'm like, oh, you can barely try. And then I save my music for the end of my workout. So it's the end of my run. So I'm always like, start out really boring, and then I slowly progress my music. So it's kind of like, that's my treat. And then, of course, treat yourself. Cinnamon bun solves all of our problems. How'd you get over a breakup in your late 20s? I thought I'd found my person. I guess this is just as a girly friend who also was single in their late 20s, it's not too late. I think the world is so big and there's so many people. And I remember, this might not resonate with you, not knowing you, but for me, I grew up in a smaller town, Edmonton, smaller city. It's a city, or I lived in Halifax. I remember like the dating pool being like, oh, I found the person. Like, this is all there is. There's no other options. And then when I moved to Toronto and started traveling and met so many other people in the world, I'm like, oh, there's endless possibilities. There's so many people in this world, so you can find your other. So it's just not that limited mindset of you found your person, and it just takes time. And I think every breakup, I learned more about myself and more of what I wanted. And that's how you actually find your person. So I think, especially in your 20s, you're still so young. You're still so young. And almost every single one of my best friends had a major breakup in their late 20s and then found their person. And like a fully formed relationship. A person, you are also better at a relationship and they're better at a relationship because they had a couple of their long-term ones. So you just know how to better communicate and what you want and more important things. So like, I'd say like 90% of my friends, major breakup in their late 20s, and then they really know what they want. And also, as just saying, as a straight cis person who dates men, and so do most of my friends, from their perspective, the men were better trained. So also became better boyfriends, and most of them are becoming our fiancés, which is crazy. So just know you got time. Like, just remember everything you learned and just refuse to settle for that. And that's a lot of like, oh, we refuse to settle. I know it's annoying, but that would be my tip. Opinions on plastic in activewear, and also Lululemon. Is it really that dangerous? I'm going to use Dr. Mike. He did a whole video on it. You can go check it out, and I'm taking his opinion, and I really like it. The reality is, we deal with a lot of plastic, and you're seeing it without fear-mongering. Just know there's a lot of plastic in us, and we have a lot of plastic. And there is in most workout clothes, because they use things like polyester, are derived from plastics, and that's what makes them great, durable, sweat-wicking, and that's why they're great. And the analogy, I think I copied this, but the analogy I'd give is like, every day we're bombarded with so much plastic, and in the scheme of things, wearing a pair of leggings with some plastic pieces is so minuscule that it doesn't matter. And here's the analogy I'll give you. Say you're in a massive Olympic-sized swimming pool, and the plastic in the Lululemon leggings are little red dye droplets. So just think of dropping little boop of red dye in that Olympic pool, thinking it makes a difference. On the flip side, there's a water slide bombarding red dyed water into the pool, like just drowning it. And that's what's going to make the pool red, not your little drop. So reality is, it's kind of like, it's so small and minuscule that it doesn't matter. And that's according to Dr. Mike, and that's what I go off of. I might have missed an update, but what surgery did you have recently? Sending love. Thank you. So yes, I've been off training. I had a surgery. I'm sorry, this is going to be the most annoying influencer answer ever. It's just not something I'm going to talk about yet. It's super personal. I'm fine. It's not cosmetic. If it was like plastic surgery, I'd tell you guys. It's something that's like a big topic, and I do want to make a video about it, but I really want to give it justice, and I'm still not in a place to talk about it. Even though I knew it was right for me, I realized the impact my words could have now. And I'm just starting to realize that as much as I can just yip yap with you guys like my friends, regardless if you post a YouTube video, you could influence people. And I really have to be educated enough to talk about it. And so that's why I keep just saying surgery, medical procedure. I'm sorry, just know I'm fine. All things are good. It was just I had to go through some crazy things for my body. And I will talk about it one day when I'm educated enough. And I'm really trying to, on my YouTube channel, get more into like realize the power of journalism and creative writing and videography and the power of this. And I just have big plans with this. And so that does make me want to tackle bigger videos. But with that, I really have to be mindful. Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional. That's why I like to bring on doctors and professionals. This is one of those topics that like needs a lot of professionals. And yeah, I know. I'm so sorry to do that. Maybe like you guys could probably put it two and two together if you did a little thinking. I just realized like even me saying I got this could influence people. And so that's why I can't just like mindfully say like, oh, Keltie did that, I can do that. I'll just say it was a personal choice. I'm fine. It was not cosmetic, plastic surgery, anything in that realm. And I will talk about it one day and y'all all be like, that makes so much sense. And I'm sorry. I just realized by even me saying it will influence. And so until I'm really ready to make a video about it, I don't think it's the correct thing to do because it's something that should be taken seriously. And the more I get into it, the more serious I realize it is. So there's the tea with the I know I just blue balled you guys. You're like, wow, thanks, Keltie. That was so unsatisfying. I know. I'm sorry. But when the video comes, you'll be like, oh, that was worth it. But yes, I just wanted to pop in, do a little catch up with you guys, some tips for 2026, just a little chill video, just to give myself a little time off as well because the big videos are coming. You know, January is when I release my year challenges, set you guys up for success. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe to have those videos. And most importantly, just enjoy this time off. I've said it time and time again that the most important thing about routines is finding a routine you enjoy. Doing it every day, being dialed in to eventually get kind of bored of your routine. And then you need the holidays or a vacation, or you just need to go do a lot of shenanigans so you feel crazy and then you miss your routine and then you get back in your routine. And that's the cycle of life. And so right now, enjoy the craziness, knowing you'll be craving that routine come January 1st, and I'll have some videos for you guys. But thank you for being with me for in this year. It was a wild year. It's crazy to reflect back on everything that's happened. It's made me really excited for what's to come. Most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.